Hey, y'all. I was just thinking about a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One thing is HR, and I might have hit on a little bit in my last video, or might be a part of this video. But just because I'm dealing with some stuff, and then I've just been thinking about the history of my HR experience. HR is one of the hardest things to do in a nonprofit, right? And I get a little like hurt or whatever, when things don't work out. And I'm like, why? Because I've been doing this for over 25 years. It's just part of it. But it be the people that sometimes are you kind of like are the closest to, that you really kind of believed in and maybe poured into or did more for. And then sometimes when it has to end because of something that they've done, and then the way they respond, so even though it's over, you're still dealing with it, and it end up possibly cost you more money because you might have to deal with legal fees and things like that. And you just be like, you be the ones you least suspect. And I'm like, I've been doing this for too long for this to shock me. But I think if I would say anything to anybody that's new to this, is that that's definitely something you have to prepare for. It be the people that you least expect, that you might have did the most for or poured the most into, or that you might have known had other relationships with. Sometimes those are the ones. So just know that, because I think that might be something that people don't talk about. The other thing is the end of the fiscal year is June 30th, a lot for the state. Even though my fiscal year, which I probably will change at some point, ends in December. A lot of the state calendars go from like July 1 to June 30th. So a lot of like grants are that way. And so we have a lot of grants that maybe like 4 or 5 that are like ended on June 30th. And so today I'm just spending the day looking at seeing where we are. Because what do you want to do? You want to have we did everything we said we were going to do in our work plans? Have we spent the money, that we were supposed to spend, and where we supposed to spend it? And this is super important because a lot of the state grants, for example, here in Minnesota are reimbursable. And so if you have to spend a lot of money on the back end, and sometimes that's normal because contracts come in late, things start slow, you don't get people hired as fast as you used to. So it's normal, but you have to prepare for it on your cash flow. So if you use like a cash flow analysis or whatever, but at least look. So I'm like, okay, Monday's a holiday. It's the last week of May. Have we spent what we were supposed to spend this month? So we looked at it a few months ago. So, okay, this is about what we need to be averaging at. We need to make sure we get these things done. We should be doing, make sure we're getting this many groups done or this many classes, supporting families in this way, helping with this much rental or deposit assistance so that we can close out. Because personally, I don't ever want to have to give money back, especially if it's money that can help the community. I want to actually, if it's financial assistance, I want to actually be able to help the families. If it's classes or resources or whatever, I want to do the thing that we said we're going to do. And so spending today just kind of looking at some grant work plans, looking at the budgets, talking to my team, like, where you at? Because I've known that we've scheduled a lot of stuff, but I haven't seen the invoices for like the contractors to do classes or and stuff. So I just reached out to my program manager, like, hey, where are we at with these contractors? Because I know we met with them months ago, but we planned it out over like 4 or 5 months. So it could be that they, you know, people I'm looking for are not gonna do classes until June. And so, but we got to track it. You got to figure out what your tracking system is and track it. And one of the things I think that I've been trying to do is telling the people that's doing the direct work, that's spending the money, I give you this is what you need to spend a month, but then you need to track individually how much you're spending. Because, for example, we have construction projects and other things going on right now. So we can't necessarily be on top of their stuff. I got somebody doing accounting. She's only doing it like 20 hours a week. So, and then I have a VA that goes in on Fridays and kind of categorizes everything. But Friday gonna be too late. We need to know today. And so it's nice to know if you have $2,000 to spend, that you have 1,500 or 2,000 or whatever. So it's important too, going up and down, because you gotta have the cash flow. And so you really gotta work with your team with that. Because you'll get to a place where I used to kind of can just track all that myself. That's not what we are. I'm developing duplexes, any house renovation, getting the Hope and Healing Center up and running. So I just don't have the time to track all of these things for them. And even helping, I've been helping my bookkeeper and accountant in the back, trying to get things categorized fast. But we have so many transactions right now because of our renovations. I can't do it. So individually, the program leads and the directors, right? they got to track it for themselves. So, just wanted to share that. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I feel like it's different than what I'm usually saying I'm doing. And I think it's just good to talk about. We got to meet our objectives. We got to spend our money. We got to do the work we say we're going to do. And HR is really hard, and usually it's the people you least expect. Those are my comments and tips for today. Y'all have a good one. Bye.